Hello, all, and welcome to the very first episode of Party Bonus, a sketch variety comedy podcast where the three of us are only worried about making each other. My name is Zach.Ellenberger.
I'm devsolovey.
I'm some guy named Sean.
Schwan?
Schwan, I'm here for
His name
Party
is
Boner.
Schwan. Welcome to Party Bonus, where the only requirement is you have to have a boner. Did we just lose half of our audience?
I
think I heard the doors close.
You lost me too, but did you forget I'm trans?
Oh man, we just lost our third host. No.
You can have all
no,
kinds of
we're
boners.
all inclusive here, guys.
Blood
you can
go
actually, but anyway.
Welcome everyone. This is our maiden voyage podcast, our very first podcast. So thanks for listening in.
Yeah, you get to hear us make a bunch of really irreverent jokes for the next however long we're recording.
Yeah.
Or
it's only for our pleasure.
What matters is that we're laughing.
Right. Well, while we're out here pleasuring ourselves, what are we what do you think is the topic of our discussion today?
I want to start with conspiracy theory.
You're gonna start with a
Zach,
conspiracy
you
theory?
have a specific order in mind.
I do not. So
you guys seemed very excited to talk about this one, which is brought it up to you a couple of minutes ago, the Cult of Sobek. Again, I will not explain this one to you. All I will say is that Sobek is the Egyptian god of sperm.
Okay, the Egyptian god of sperm. Okay, so our goal is we're gonna figure out what this conspiracy theory is that you have.
Yeah, who is the Cult of Sobek, and what do they not want us to know?
Colloquially known as Jizz Jesus. Sobek. I don't even know, how do you spell Sobek?
Sobek.
Sobek.
Almost like that Sobe soda back in the day, but with a K on the end.
Oh yeah. Did Sobe go out of business? Sobe water?
I don't.
Did they?
It might have. Yeah, that's fair.
Did they have facts under the cap? They probably went out of business if they didn't.
Maybe the caps under the back have something to do with Sobek. Is Sobe life water? Is that the Cult of Sobek?
Gosh, have they been hiding in front of us all this time?
It seems like an awfully close reference in spelling, and there's a lizard on the front. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but definitely has to do with
instead
somehow.
of, that's just it. Instead of Kool-Aid, it's Sobe life water.
Bro, if it had a lizard on front, Sobek is an alligator god. He's depicted as an alligator, so
yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're making connections here.
Did you say it is depicted as an alligator? That's a fact.
Yeah. Well, Sobek's are like alligator scaly, and then if they've got a lizard on their logo, that's like their secret code to each other, right?
Do you think that was was some thinly veiled 90s corporation's idea of making? There's a name for it and I can't remember, so I'm going to be very gross about it. There is like a recipe on the internet for all of the things you can take to drop the biggest load possible. It has directly to do with this conversation. I can't remember what it's called. It's on Reddit.
I don't want to know what it's called. I want to know why it's relevant to this conversation. That's what I'm like on the edge of my seat about here.
Because before you could go on Reddit and find the recipe for the fattest nut you could drop, and worship of Sobek, the Egyptian semen god. Correct me if I'm reciting any of this incorrectly. You would have to make a branded drink.
Right. Okay.
Yo. Is Sobe water made of cum?
They're putting cum in the water and turn our kids gay.
First of all, genius idea. Second of all, I'm with it. Two, that is like Sobek. Now I'm
knew it.
curious. Hold on, I'm pulling up the
I
internet.
finally
gonna
had
raw
my
dog
Alex
this,
Jones moment.
but not now.
I knew that water tasted nutty. So this is going back to the Cult of Sobek.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it is because I'm thinking they had something to do with cum in the water.
Yep, they're putting the cum in the water. Serving the gay agenda.
Serving the gay agenda. Is it like the Egyptian gay agenda? Because I mean, so Sobek is from Egyptian mythology.
Right, yeah.
Did Egyptians have weird flavored sperm? Did they get their sperm from alligators?
It comes directly out of the pyramids.
It comes. He said it
Pyramids come.
Yeah.
Every year the pyramids just come. They sprout just fountains of milky white.
Disgusting.
Yo, did they worship alligator sperm?
Maybe. That would be a question for an Egyptologist. Not for me, because I actually don't know the answer to that question. But yeah. I mean, what happened to the cult of Sobek? Like, why is Sobe Lifewater not around anymore? What happened? Because I feel like cult mass suicide is too obvious. Like, what really happened?
I don't know. It seems like the cult well really dried up, huh?
So you're saying they all didn't drink their own sperm and die of mass suicide? That's likely not
No.
what happened. Okay.
Maybe the cult's real and they like ascended to heaven where they're just fucking constantly.
No.
They got raptured, and we all got left here and to
Right.
suffer in this hell dimension that is now the darkest timeline. It makes all sense now. It all makes sense.
Yeah, because we didn't join their circle jerk. We didn't.
I
Circle
know
jerk in the sky.
exactly what happened. The entire cult transcended. They performed a ritual. What the goal was, future promotion of their chosen deity. So of course, what happened is they transcended into a more pure form, ones we know now as. You may have seen this. You may have heard about this. Major load, ball refill, thunder loads, ultra loads, semenax. They put themselves into bottles so that future generations of their ancestors could produce maximum output at home and in performance on set, so that they could rain fire hydrants of
I want to know who the out group is. Like, we've got our in group, but who's the enemy? Every cult's got an enemy, right?
Sure. That
Ooh.
isn't everyone else.
Ooh, the enemy of the jizz cult.
Who's the enemy of the jizz?
I mean, most
Who's
cults
trying to
like
stop the jizz?
most cults strawman people. I think the easy answer is feminists, especially because like conspiracy theorists tend to be right-leaning for whatever reason, so it kind of makes sense the cult of Sobek would be like a bunch of incels just jacking it, like, we don't need women anymore.
No, they're gooning constantly, 24/7. It's all about edging at all times.
No.
I haven't come in 2 years.
Really, the enemy, whether they knew it or not, was caffeine and alcohol. Typical things to dehydrate followers of Jizz Jesus.
Yeah, you gotta stay hydrated if you're a follower of Jizz Jesus. Drink 8 gallons of water a day or something.
You have to max your loads.
Is the mortal enemy of Cult of Sobek these raw doggers who are just all about the raw dogging? And I'll be honest, I don't know 100% what raw dogging is, but I do see now that it's like an internet trend.
Well,
and-
It means having sex without a condom.
Okay,
what that
I'm
means.
way wrong about this.
Yeah.
I was
Raw
thinking
dog a
like
lot
raw
of
dog
things.
and was like, okay, I'm going to stop masturbating. I'm going to stop punching my pud
No,
for a while. But
you're talking about
Scratch
no,
that
not
idea.
November.
right. But like
That's-
all year round,
That's
that
the
would be
month
their
you
mortal
don't do a
enemies.
jizz.
Yeah.
That's the month you goon and edge 24/7 for a month.
So let me take this small micro moment to just get my lingo right. Gooning is when you don't masturbate, and raw dogging is when you do it without a condom. Have sex without a condom.
Opposite. Gooning is opposite.
Fuck.
Gooning is constant masturbation.
Guys, this isn't good. I got 2 kids that are gonna start talking this language real soon, and I'm fucked.
They're miles ahead of you.
It's
Miles
okay.
ahead of you.
Let me as a Zillennial be your translator.
You're gonna have to.
Give them the glossary.
I just learned that word Zillennial though, like a couple of weeks ago. I didn't realize it was a thing until now.
You're between
To
Z
be honest, I hate
and
it.
millennial.
Yeah, I kind of get why it's a thing because like they say people can't agree on when the millennial generation ended. They say either 94 or 96 because I guess they fucking forgot 95 existed. So for those of us who were born in that year, we're just Schrodinger's millennial, pretty much.
I know it's in the box.
What's in the bag?
Schrodinger's millennial. That's fucking
What's in the
hilarious.
fucking bags?
I had heard that I
Title
was
of
an
the
elder
episode,
millennial for a long
Schrodinger's
time,
millennial?
and I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea when this is supposed. I feel like we're just moving the goalposts at all times.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
You're
hon.
right. You're right. No, we got to get in deep with the Cult of Sobek, and we got to get
Right.
deep into that.
Yeah,
that
get
icky,
really
sticky
deep
sperm.
inside.
We
We got to
dig.
take a drop of this sperm and really stick it under the microscope here and look at it.
You got to hit the floor.
You got to hit the floor coming.
You're really bottoming
Years
out.
start coming and they don't stop coming. Hey, now you're an all-star.
In Sobek's eyes, anyway.
I'm an all-star. I'm an all-star. I'm an
Please,
all-star.
in order to enter, ejaculate into the graduated cylinder. We need to measure your
Yeah,
volume.
is Smash Mouth, are they members of the Cult of Sobek? Are they a part of this conspiracy?
Yes.
Can't be. Have you seen that guy? Look at all those Hawaiian shirts. Minimal. We're talking micro loads.
So then, the Smash Mouth is the enemy of the Cult of Sobek.
Maybe.
That was it. God damn it. You've unlocked it all.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy within a conspiracy. It's an enigma within a mystery.
As you know, the birth rates are dropping, and it's because of Smash Mouth. And
Wait.
No one is nearly as fertile as before this single existed.
See, the Cult of Sobek is just trying to turn us into lizards. That's what it is. And that's what
Right.
Soapy water was. It was the
That's who
conduit.
the lizard people are.
Yes.
That's who the lizard people. Oh, it
Hold
makes
on.
That's what
sense.
it was.
We need a title for enemy cult. What is breeds of lizard that you know?
If they're fans of Smash Mouth, call them Shrek. Like,
Is Shrek a lizard?
It's just Shrek
no,
and
Shrek's
lizard.
an ogre, and as you know, ogres are the immortal enemies of lizards.
A
Oh,
race
right,
of
right,
frog.
right.
We all know that they're a
Right.
race of frog, amphibian.
Yeah, the war between the amphibians and the reptiles it's been waged for millions of years.
This is it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all because evolution is a lie. That was just a story that Darwin made up for the frog people.
What a cool! Oh my god! White lights.
The Cult of Sobek has been putting cum in people's drinks for centuries in order to turn people into chameleons and
Turn them into
geckos.
lizards. Lizards for their
lizards.
sleeper army.
Yes.
The cult of shriveled salamanders. Just trying to think
Yeah.
of lizards that I know in alliteration with adjectives that I can put together. Salamander's the only one I can think of.
Salamander.
Aren't salamanders amphibians though?
Oh fuck.
Shit.
I don't know.
They can regrow
They might
their
be
limbs.
the missing link. Those are frog
They are
spies. That's
amphibians.
what they are. They're spies working for the frogs. That's what salamanders are.
They're trying to initiate the rise of the reptile planet.
Exactly.
And the amphibians are trying to stop them. They're on the front lines trying to stop them.
Right. And that's why we have
Mammals.
to listen to Smash Mouth. It's so important.
No, the mammals have devolved because they're too busy listening to Smash Mouth, so they don't understand what the fuck is going on. And the amphibians are like, "Hey, mammals, get the fuck over here and get in the game."
The cult.
we're like-
Yeah.
The
We're
cult
too
of
busy.
arid amphibians is who you're referencing. Enemies of Jizz Jesus.
Enemies of Jesus. The
Yeah.
arid
Smash Mouth
amphibians.
was a psyop by the lizard people
Yes.
The ones
They
you've
were-
to
seen,
make more lizards.
the ones you've seen in the Obama YouTube videos.
Smash Mouth was the Pied Piper for the lizards,
So
leading
true.
us mammals away.
And the government doesn't want you to know about it.
Government's,
They're hiding it from us.
government's in bed with big semen.
Release the documents, Joe Biden. Where are they?
We've been gooning for months. Release the documents.
Wait a second, there's
Unleash
jizz all
the
over these
floodgates.
documents. We've been bombed.
Oh
We've been
man.
jizz bombed.
The CIA's been doing it this whole time. That's what the chemtrails are.
You know, when you think about it, at some point there has to be some overlap of like Pepe the Frog and Incel.
You actually touched on it, like the real thing. You actually got very close to it. So
And I don't know what directly that connection is, but I feel like it's all points to what we're talking about here.
I admit the last time I read about Sobek and the actual conspiracy was like 5 years ago, so I don't remember most of it. But it's pretty batshit insane.
Hold on, I have a clip that works perfectly that we need to have in here just for sound effects. But have you seen Pepe the Frog? Or whatever they use on
That's a good
Ancient
one.
Aliens.
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, Pepe the Frog.
Oh, hold on. There you go.
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries.
I mean, that is a pretty, I think, satisfying conspiracy theory for the cult of Sobek. Definitely one I enjoy a lot more.
I feel complete by it, I will say.
Yeah, there's something wholesome about making these connections and figuring out the truth that they don't want you to know.
No.
Yeah, no, the real conspiracy. The real conspiracy was something I found while going on an internet rabbit hole, like in 2019, about how Pepe the Frog was iconography that related back to ancient times.
No way.
There were some ancient aliens involved, but Sobek was considered like the deity represented by Pepe the Frog, and so yeah, it was this whole like white supremacy, alt-right weird shit, as most conspiracy theories are. Don't look into it. It's not like I don't even remember the
Damn it.
website being that interesting, and probably half of it is trolling anyway. But yeah, Pepe is an Egyptian god, an ancient Egyptian god is the TLDR of that one.
I've never, ever heard of it. Sobek.
Yeah.
I have to look up the label on Sobe now. I was trying not to use my internet as a
See, I wish
crutch.
like I wish the political left would come up with some more interesting conspiracy theories, because like say what you want about these like alt-right dipshits and how like weird and anti-Semitic and racist their theories are. Some of them are hilarious.
Yeah, they'll believe any of it as long as it's derived directly from white supremacy.
They can come up with some stories.
It's
all right?
all
I
the
know. Like
gateway
left-wing
drug.
conspiracy theories is like Russia interfered with the election, but right-wing conspiracy theories are like there's lizard people in the Hollow Earth and they're working with the Jews and like all this weird shit. It's
Yeah.
like
It
Is
is.
it
about Jewish
sucks.
slavery?
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's creative.
Yeah, the bar for entry on anything that would be in left-wing conspiracy is like fact-checking, and it fails at the gate like immediately.
The last like widespread left-wing conspiracy theory I can think of that people like actually bought into was Bush did 9/11. That one to me just I find it funny. Like the phrase Bush did 9/11 is funny to me for whatever reason. Like, just that people believe that is very funny.
I don't know
It
about
makes
you
that
though.
like that clip of the person coming up and telling them that the towers crashed. It makes that clip that much funnier. Like if you believe that, it's just the face he makes looks way stupider when you think about it that way.
When he knows already, like it's all going to plan,
Yeah,
and that's the one he manages to come up with right there.
I know. And then the expression goes from one of like absolute dread to just like, oh, whoops. Like, yeah.
Does he? Do I recall? Does he do like a kind of like a lip spread, like a oh?
No, no, it was more just like a he kind of blinks and he goes,
He kind of like purses his lips, like, mm.
yeah, yeah.
What
No,
am I
he
gonna
just
do
kind of
about this
looks
one?
confused, like he doesn't really know how to react, which I mean, I wouldn't know how to react in that situation either.
It's-
But like,
I thought this was going to be a softball of a of a 4 years.
He's sitting in a classroom full of just like kindergartners, and he's being told that a bunch of people just died in New York, and it's like, oh,
It's like,
that killed
somebody
my
call my
high.
dad. Somebody call my dad.
He's like, oh shit, they actually did that. Fuck.
I thought the Saudi folks I sold those weapons to were joking about it. I didn't
I
think they were really gonna
didn't
do
think they were serious.
it.
Really dark, man. Really dark.
Well, shit. Might as well just pillage places for oil now. I have an excuse to.
The perfect excuse. It's finally happening. It's all going to plan. Don't
Finally,
remember.
justification for war crimes.
Yes. Yes. I have to go back to this for a second. Solovey is a lizard. Solovey did 9/11. That's it. This is the connection I've
did
just come up with
9/11.
here.
And why would
That's
Sobe
it.
do 9/11? Because the two towers are like the two biggest phalluses, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause
And
they
they
weren't
had
spraying
never
cum like
busted,
the Great
ever.
Pyramids.
right. So the twin towers had EDs, what they had.
They saw it as
And-
big ass EDs.
Yeah, and we don't have space for any of those kinds of things in this movement. Virility only.
I don't know. Like, as far as left wing conspiracy theories go, Russia, there's so many Russian ones, but they're
There's so many
all
Russian ones on the right too, though. Like it's not original, you know.
no, it's derivative.
Well,
And
it's like,
probably all based on fact that's way more boring.
Yeah.
well, it's like anything you try and come up with as a left wing conspiracy ends up becoming true in the first place. I mean, it was kind of like when they did the Russia Ukraine thing, and it was like, oh yeah, don't they kept pointing like Trump tried to use Ukraine for quid pro quo, and it is when it was first delivered, almost like as an off the cuff, like, oh yeah, that probably happened, and they turned around and went, no, that actually happened. Like we need
Yeah.
to now charge him
It
for
gets wilder with Putin because if we're talking about conspiracy theories, we might as well talk about real conspiracies that happened, which was Putin getting put in office, the bombings in Chechnya in the late 90s that got him into power, orchestrated by the FSB. That's some real shit that happened. That's not even a theory. That's the thing. That's the thing about conspiracy theories that I find fascinating too. Is like some of them are so wild and out there, but they're like based in this feeling of like knowing something's not right, you know? And like the only problem is like if it were a really real conspiracy, it would have come out by now because conspiracies always come out, like the thing with Putin or the Edward Snowden, and you know, there's always a whistleblower.
and like.
But like there's no whistleblowers from NASA saying the Earth is flat. Like there's nobody, you know.
The moon was a movie scene. We didn't land on it. It's not real.
And there's always the very big conspiracy in slightly changing the gears here of whether or not Corey Feldman is in on his own joke as a musician.
Corey Feldman is actually
Wait, Corey Feldman is he's from Slipknot, right? Or am I thinking of somebody different?
You're thinking of Corey Taylor. Corey
Oh,
Feldman was a child actor, turned musician, turned
Modern incarnation of Sobek, Egyptian god of semen.
yes.
You remember Corey's Angels? Listen, it's all coming around. We're
Yeah,
putting it
it's
all
all coming around.
together.
So the father is Sobek, the son is Corey Feldman, and the Holy
Mhm.
Spirit is
Corey's Angels, a group of women that he just helps out of the good of his
No,
heart.
the Holy Spirit is just jizz. That's what it is.
The Holy Spirit is
The
jizz
Holy
himself.
Spirit moves through you
Literally.
and out of your cock.
Well,
I get the
50%
metaphor
of the
now.
population.
I get
40% of the population, because there's there's more
so
female
many
than
of
male.
these
I think.
prayers make sense now.
If you're not on social media very much, Corey Feldman was a child actor turned musician. People question his talents because they're very okay. Let's face it, they're not good. They're not good.
Oh, so he
And
does like cringecore stuff.
he's like cringecore, not fully aware of his own like awfulness.
Let's be aware of the
And-
subjective
Right.
experience here. I happen to enjoy all of Corey Feldman's musical. I couldn't keep a straight face.
I tried, guys. I couldn't.
I wanted to be the person who plays devil's advocate for Corey Feldman as a legitimate artist, but
Hard to do that, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
no,
in
I knew
light of-
I knew the name. No, you know what? I have seen videos of this person performing.
Mhm.
I have seen this.
He's
Yeah.
very like Michael Jackson. He models old Michael Jackson very much because like he was a big influence on him. He used to hang out with him apparently a lot.
Yeah,
when
I
he was a
remember
child
now.
actor.
Right, of
he's
course
a-
he did, because it's Michael Jackson.
he's a TikTok sensation now. His
Yeah.
guitar solo
Oh, I'm sure he is.
made the
Yeah.
fucking rounds.
Right. He does like this face like he's shredding like Van Halen, but he's not shredding like Van Halen. He's just like taking his fingers and like tapping them in a bunch of places and like running
Yeah,
the
okay.
pick across the strings. So it
I
just
have seen this,
sounds
yep.
yeah, it sounds really weird, but he's just like totally sold on his own delusion, just like I am a rock.
Are you sure
god."
it's not a mastery of the fretboard? And you just
I think I saw
Yes.
it in a video about outsider musicians. Yeah, and like it's wild that they would include someone like Corey Feldman in the same video as someone like Daniel Johnston, you know? Like, yeah, they're both outsider artists, but one of them is just objectively better than the other. So much better than the other. 'Cause, wow.
Thus comes the conspiracy theory is that it must be a joke. That like an
Right.
inside joke he's doing, like when Joaquin Phoenix did that mockumentary I'm Still Here, and it was about him like, having career crash.
And we were
Mhm.
talking about Crispin Hellion Glover earlier, who has like fabricated some of his persona as well, performatively. It really,
Right.
there's a thread of like 80s. He was in the realm of like kind of Warhol worship.
So like the weird guys with rancid vibes. It's
Yeah.
like that's that's who we're that's the preachers of Sobek.
Really where we're nailing here. These are the 5 patriarchs of
Yeah,
the
but
Cult of Sobek.
the amount of people who admired them from the 80s that apparently carried into what was later their careers. Listen, they were slaying. Corey has his own group of just women that follow him around for no reason other than he has mediocre celebrity and a little bit of money left, and he dresses just like Michael Jackson now. What's not to like?
Probably still gets really good drugs.
Other than the unending pool of semen he's blasting constantly backstage at whatever festival he's playing.
With his lizard reptilian eyes like I shall
Just-
soak you all in my cum for a coat for Sobek.
Just a fucking fire hydrant of
As an
just
offering to the alligator god.
All
fire
in the
hydrant
name of
oysters.
Sobek.
That guy
I will shower you with my cum.
shooting fucking clams
Bec-
everywhere.
I have to tell this story to somebody. I need somebody to hear it because you just reminded me of I was scrounging on like the recesses of fucking Reddit a couple of years ago, and I found this subreddit which I won't name, but they do theistic Satanism, so like actually worshiping Satan and demons like god, like actually. And they did. Somebody posted that they were doing a ritual sacrifice in which they burned their cum in like a fire as an offering to, I believe, Asmodeus.
Okay.
And somebody commented, and they were like, "What the fuck, dude?" And the original poster is like, "If this makes you uncomfortable, you're in the wrong group." And the second person was like, "Okay, enjoy your crispy cum."
And
I think
he
about
did.
that so often.
And all was well. Crispy cum was had.
Enjoy your crispy cum.
This makes me wonder why, or this makes me start to be concerned about those people who walk around with JO crystals,
Oh yeah, the Joe crystals.
the jerk off crystals. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's like a rosary for Sobek, as you know.
It's a rose. Yes, it's exactly it. And
It's a
and when you,
merchandising opportunity, is what it is. You guys ever hear?
I
of
know what our
Kiss?
first merchandise is going to be.
I'm gonna paint my face like a crocodile and blow loads everywhere.
I've been working really hard on our merchandise. I'm a little bit dehydrated, but I've completed our delivery for tomorrow.
Do you know how many gobs of pearls I've been working on back here to fill our JO crystals?
Holy shit!
My whole house is powered on JO crystals.
The future is.
I've been out
now.
here in the trenches getting soused with seed.
I'm impressed. I never thought we'd talk about cum for so long. I'm not saying we should stop.
I don't. This is firmly like just a regular Sunday for me. We can't continue without like some representation of like how batshit, just how like disconnected from reality this person actually is.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I've seen him live, and every bit of like the train wreck that you hear about is true. Like when we saw him, they had this big screen up behind him that they were supposed to be playing some sort of footage or whatever. Didn't work, and immediately out of the gate they had a complete like breakdown where they didn't start the song on time, and Corey was supposed to have this big entrance onto the stage, and he was like, "Oh, well, that didn't work, guys. You know, screwed that one up." He's like, "Sorry, everyone. We're gonna try that over again." And he like walks off the stage to do it all over again.
In some respect, it's admirable that like
it is,
despite being made
He
fun
committed
of,
to the bit.
right? Constantly leveled as somebody incapable of self-awareness or like skill at their.
He committed so hard to the bit that he can't uncommit. It's like that one Lennon quote, "A lie told often enough becomes the truth."
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
He just lives it now.
And I really don't. There's somewhere you can look and go, maybe there is like a performative aspect to this. Maybe there is like a whole thing that we're doing here. And there's never even been a glint of it ever with Corey Feldman. It really is not like, you can't ever see him drop the if it were a facade.
Yeah.
What is going on there? It's insane.
Some people really are just that crazy. Like, it's kind of great.
You see him more often than not. And he was like a reality TV guy in like the early aughts. So familiar tread ground too. Here's the clip when you get into the window on Discord of him. Let's just do the guitar solo because it's easy to.
Yeah.
it's recognizable style over skill.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah. Yep, there it is.
Look at his face. His face is.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
This is incredible. Perfect. I have no notes.
Yeah. Some people just aren't on the level. It's like when you're not able to speak a language, you don't know what anyone's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is artistic genius, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong.
You got it, Corey. Now get out there
with that note right there.
I love how he has the kill switch on his guitar, like it's gonna do fucking fuck off for him.
He really
Yeah.
for a good majority of this whole really looks dead-eyed when you can see it in the camera.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Corey Feldman. Bravo.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh,
I think it just
my God,
repeats
God.
this. Jesus.
Like it's funny because he'll notoriously, like, if they screw up an intro or they like false
He'll
start
blame
a
it
song,
on
he'll
them.
stop and he'll make them start over in front of everyone. Like, sorry guys, and like do.
The ego on this person
It's like the
to stop
exact
everyone else
opposite of
dead.
what you're supposed to do, too.
Yeah.
Like,
He's stopping everybody else and saying, listen, it's not good enough. Go back, start over. Yet this exists. Ugh.
great.
What I'm saying is,
Oh.
he's an artist, and you wouldn't understand.
So
Yeah.
he's Andy Kaufmaning it. What we're saying.
You could say it. I don't think that I would humor it.
Because
You'd
there's
have to
no way
provide
he's
facts.
looking out into that crowd while he's doing that and not seeing the faces on all of those people going, "You motherfucker. What kind of cum spraying culty crap are you doing to us out here? Why can't you just be straight and upfront with us?"
It's all theory until somebody gets glazed backstage at the VIP meet and greet. Isn't it? And you go, I know what this is about.
That's why you get the Joe Crystal. It's easy to clean up the evidence. Just, channel it
Just sucks
using
right in.
magic all into your crystal.
What would you say you're doing here, Crystal? Supporting my deity.
That's my jizz.
Claiming your seed.
Oh, fuck, man. Oh, man. I'm curious. What kind of Nick Cage character would you guys be?
Speaking of climax.
Yeah, when I climax, if we're going to segue, I'm going to take it with a climaxing moment, because when I climax, the first thing that pops in my head, Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
Speaking of climax.
It's not
have you ever seen the
post-nut
movie
clarity,
Pig?
it's post-Nick clarity.
Post-Nic clarity. There it is. There it is, the tagline. You've done it.
Title of the episode, post-Nick clarity.
Post-Nic clarity.
Title of the podcast, post-Nick. No, I'm kidding.
When you think about his tendency to overact, it really does. It hits.
See
Fuck.
anything you like?
This is most definitely an idea I visited before. It was around the time that Mandy came out. Mandy was like an indie movie that he did. It was like a horror art piece with a director who was like notoriously picky and auteurish about the stuff that he would do.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point after, I was so excited about it, and like upon repeating it to people, it's just like, this dude, this actor is like 150% effort. And like, nobody cares. He's like the death metal of acting. He studies his shit.
Yeah.
He tries so fucking hard. He is putting like 1,000,000% of what he's got into it. And there are like 5 people. It's a metaphor. Five dudes in the audience who are stoked that they're finally in the same city as this band, and they're the only 5 people there who give a fuck. All effort pales in comparison. I mean, maybe not all, but it's a very specific set of skills. It's a lot of effort. And let's be real, Nick Cage got shit on for a long time. It was like, I think rightfully so. I wouldn't have claimed at the time that like that guy's acting was any bit. It has context now, it has perspective, but holy shit. I remember seeing Gone in 60 Seconds and being like, this dude sucks so much. Why do I keep seeing this guy?
He's way better, I think, than most people characterize him as, though. Because I think there are roles where overacting fits. for sure. Like it was
Yeah.
with Renfield. He did great in that
Mhm.
one. Like,
Mhm.
and I noticed it because last night I had watched the 1931 Dracula with Bela Lugosi, and like I watched it and I realized like he copied this guy's physicality pretty much exactly. There were only like a few times here and there where he went Nick Cage on it, really. But for the, like, you could tell he like did his research for the part and like really put his whole ass into it, and it seems like he does that with everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean his
And that
acting is it's strange, but like I feel like people don't appreciate how much effort goes into it. I don't know. That's my hot take about Nick Cage.
no, I would agree, and that is that sounds like something he would definitely do. If you ever heard any of his interviews and the way he talks, like he comes up with just the wildest stories of just like where he came up with these ideas. I was watching the old 1931 Dracula with Bela Lugosi and had this
I
idea, and I
do.
was like, and it's great listening to him just kind of go these tangents of just like I could listen to that dude probably talk
Yeah,
all day long.
he's fascinating. I do wish somebody would ask him why in the film Raising Arizona he chose to have a Texas accent, or why everybody who made that movie decided that everyone in Arizona had a Texas accent.
Was that
Because that's the one
Cohen?
I
Right.
love that movie. I love that movie. They all talk like they're from Texas. I'm like, who put this together? You know, why does Tempe look like that? Tempe is
Hollywood.
gentrified as hell. You know,
I blame Hollywood for that one.
Was that Cohen siblings? Hold on.
Looking
what
it
now?
up.
The people who made that movie, Raising Arizona.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time. I really enjoyed it, but you know, been a while.
It is.
Right.
I was just trying to recall if that is. Yeah, Joel
Yeah.
Cohen and
Ethan.
Ethan Cohen. hmm
Yeah.
I had to check that to
Wild.
be sure because I was like, I don't. Am I? Did I make that up? I'm pretty sure that's it. That's like they went on to do a lot of things you'd be very aware of. Um, what pops into mind? Hold on, let me pull the list because it's way
You,
easier.
you know, it's really sad because I feel like it was just a talent that Nick Cage discovered a little far too late in his career about like placing his overacting in the appropriate
Specific.
places,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, because it
Exactly.
was just like
Yeah. Works great for Dracula. Doesn't work for
right.
certain other things he's done.
Works great about a movie that's about yourself, talking to yourself.
We go to
Yeah.
like a tiny indie theater by us, and we see movies there a lot. And though he's not a big like horror or sci-fi guy, he's like a lot of the guy who owns the theater. We were talking about Nick Cage, and I don't. There's a lot of Nick Cage stuff that I like now that like revolves around the territory genre-wise of horror, sci-fi, whatever, or even like self-reference. He had like 2 or 3 Western movies in the last year or two that I had no fucking clue existed. He does just pick shit that's interesting. It's
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm
mhm.
glad he's at a point where he can do that instead of taking every and any offer that he gets. Good for him that he got out of debt with the IRS.
Yeah, I was to say, I think he cleared his bills and can
It was
start
a
being a
couple of
little
years
bit
ago. Yeah, no, he
more
finally.
choosy with his stuff, even though it doesn't seem like he's being more choosy with his movies. Like it still seems like he's just picking everything that comes his way. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I think he is at least awarding himself that
That's the point. Well, like one's got to imagine that just the what he has to choose from is of a way higher quality at this point. But like, I don't. I kind of I've been thinking about not talking about this because of the kind of spoileriness of it. But it's so far past its release. I think that I think that the cat's out of the bag for
we
everybody.
could
Are
put a
we
spoiler
long
alert
legs
in it.
aware in here? The movie Long Legs.
Oh, right.
It is now marketed all over the place.
Hmm.
That he has involvement in that movie. When it released, they really did a great job of not covering it almost everywhere. They really did not let the cat out of the bag for a
Well, now
while.
what's the conspiracy about that? Is someone trying to suppress Nicolas Cage?
He's in it, but they did not say that he was in it.
I was gonna be honest. I was very surprised when someone was like, "Oh, did you see Nick Cage in Long Legs?" I was like, "What are you talking about? Nick Cage isn't in." Oh, Nick Cage is in Long Legs. Oh, I didn't know that.
And this is the conversation that we planned, but like it does incredibly validate his creative choices in terms of like how it's panned out for legacy, because the character is fantastic. I don't. It could be said of almost everything that he's done since then that when he's on screen, that's what you're watching. Who's Nick Cage? Because it just is batshit
There
every
are
fucking
certain
time.
actors that are just like that, where you watch them not because they have any particular range, but their own, like, them is just such a strong brand, that like you're there for them. You're not really necessarily there for the film. And there's Nick Cage is like that. I think Jim Carrey honestly is like that too.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got a
100%.
very distinct vibe. He's also batshit insane. Um,
Yeah,
He is.
100%.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
He's
Gotta love
gotta
it.
be like an alien in a human skin suit. I don't think he's entirely like, if Men in Black were real, he'd be one of them for sure, I think.
100%. Sugar and water. He is like skin over an
It's like
alien
it's
body.
him and Benedict Cumberbatch. Those
Oh,
two, I
yes.
think. If Men in Black were real, Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't think that alien, like, I think their ship like
He looks
stopped,
like
like,
he's wearing a skin suit.
I think his ship crashed. He does. His ship crashed before it could finish diagnostics on like humans or whatever. So he gets out of his ship all like stretched out and weird looking, like, "Hi, my name's Benadryl Cucumber. I'm a human man." Like, I'm just, somebody else like, "You mean Benedict?" And like, "Yeah, whatever that guy said."
Oh,
Like, I really
that
do
is
think,
hilarious.
Just
no,
like the
he
Arnold.
can't be. And like, that's not a dig, right? Like, I
No.
mean, I don't think Jim Carrey's a very nice guy, but Benedict Cumberbatch seems polite enough. Like, you could be a nice alien, that's fine. I just think he's an alien. I don't think it's.
He's that alien that showed up to Earth and like kind of ditched his mission. Was like, "I'm cool here. This is kind of fun."
Yeah, I
And
get
then
to
they
be a
keep
movie
checking in
star
on him.
now.
Yeah, they keep checking in on him like, "What's your status on planet Earth?" And then he's like,
Oh,
bad
sorry, my phone
connection."
was on vibrate. I didn't get your
Sorry, I
call.
was on mute.
And both
Catch
seem
on you
weirdly
guys.
flexible.
He's like the
Weirdly
living
flexible.
version of Coneheads, is what it is.
The thing, like, I don't care what anybody says. Jokes about his name will never stop being funny to me, because I just don't think they'll ever stop being funny. I found out the other day and was cracking up about it for 2 days. His full name, middle names included, because yes, he does have more than one.
He's actually a serial killer.
Benedict,
English.
yeah, Benedict Timothy Carlton Cumberbatch. It's like if
God damn, he
Akon's
has
name got
4?
gentrified. It's yeah,
Holy shit.
Slow down with the names.
yeah, I know. It's
Coming on
like,
hard.
How very English of him.
I know. I looked it up on a whim because I was like, I wonder if he has an equally ridiculous middle name. And I was like, oh, he's got two ridiculous middle names. Awesome.
Oh my god.
It sounds like 4 different
Oh.
households in Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're all from a lineage of royalty or something.
That is so spot on.
Let's call that a fact.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stamp that down as a fact.
If it wasn't, it is now. Benedict Cumberbuffin.
Benny.
Who else? Who else would be an
Anybody?
alien? Who else do you think would be an alien? I think
Listen.
Mike Myers might be an alien.
They live among us.
Right.
It-
Yeah.
And I will say yes because Mike Myers looks like a living wax figure.
Yeah. He looks like a wax
this day.
sculpture. It's weird.
Like,
Yeah.
it creeps me out.
Oh,
His
I know
voice
who.
just doesn't match up with his face for some reason in my mind. I get this weird uncanny valley effect from him, and I don't know why.
Tim Blake
agree.
Nelson. I think Tim Blake Nelson is an alien.
I actually don't know who
Yeah.
this person is.
Also in a skin suit. Hold on, picture. I can get a picture.
Yeah.
You'll probably know. This is not like a, even though the name is weird, this is definitely a person you've seen like a million times in a million things.
He's a
Personally-
character actor.
Yeah, Doug Jones. We're talking about that sort of thing. Could be an alien. But Kurt Russell too. I think he's an alien. I really don't like his face. There's something weird about it.
Oh yeah, Doug Jones. Kurt Russell. You know, maybe he really is the thing. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe.
No, like for real. There's something. I think it's his eye color. Maybe he's got like a weird eye color or something. I don't know, cause like when I watch the thing and he's got glasses on, his face looks normal, but he takes them off and I'm like, ugh.
His eyes are really small to the rest of his head.
Yeah,
He's got a
they
really big
are.
jaw. He's got a very
Yeah,
strong, square jaw, but his eyes are just really
like little beady,
tiny.
tiny. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's like where the
incongruent.
joysticks are for the
Yeah.
skin suit. It's like a little tiny alien and a human mecha,
Oh
like
man.
those ones from Men in Black.
Yeah.
I don't think Nick Cage is an alien though. I think he's a human.
No.
I think he's just a really weird one, but he's a human for sure. He's got to be.
He's one of those dudes that has been secretly fighting the alien menace in disguise for like all his life.
Right.
He's a
So he was like
blade
undercover.
he's a Blade Runner for aliens.
Okay.
Nick Cage, human Blade Runner.
I dig
Living
it.
Blade Runner. Just saying.
Above the voice channel that we're in, there is a little chat channel called I Have No Mic, but I Must Scream. That is where I posted the photo of Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's unsettling.
Not only aesthetically, his acting skill is, though not well known enough for what he's done.
No,
he really
very
is like an
underrated.
alien in a skin suit.
What about Will Smith? We're talking about Men in Black. What about Will Smith? Do you
I
think
don't.
he's human or do you think he's an alien?
Strong
He is.
opinion.
I wish he wasn't human, but I think he is.
Yeah. His face is a little too symmetrical. There's just something slightly off about it, but like a lot of actors have that. So I'm not gonna, you know. I think maybe like yeah, being famous that long could like turn you into kind of a weird person. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on board. I'll say he's human.
I have a strong opinion on Will Smith that I just made up, that he is not actually an alien. He's very human, but he is a follower of his alien wife, Jada Pinkett Smith.
I thought you were
Yep.
gonna say Sobek.
No.
I thought you were gonna say Sobek.
There's a way to wrap that around that I haven't come up with, but Jada Pinkett
Has
Smith
has
is
it
like
been long enough that we can agree that Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars is the funniest thing to ever happen at the Oscars? Has it been long enough that we can say that now? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
I
I
think
mean,
it's
safe to
really
say.
fucking funny.
I don't
Yeah,
know
it
in
was-
my quill of references that I know any other funny Oscar moments, so that has to be it, right?
Exactly.
well, normally because I think all the other Oscar moments are borderline prejudice and like dangerously bigoted.
Whereas
Where
this one was
yeah, it's like comedian cracks a joke and somebody takes it the wrong way and just walks up and slaps them. And
I don't think he took it the wrong way. Like Chris Rock, from what I understand, did say some pretty like mean shit about his wife. That doesn't justify getting up there and hitting your coworker, but
No.
like I see where it comes from. I'm so glad he did go up there and hit Chris Rock though.
I mean, he made a joke
It's a
about
matter
her
of
being
entertainment.
bald.
It was the
Yeah,
best.
it's
Yeah,
an
well the
entertainment.
apparently the reason she was bald is because she's got some like autoimmune disease and that's why
She
Alopecia.
has alopecia.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's like a source of like insecurity for her. So she probably got really hurt by the joke and then him being him. Thank you, Will Smith. Thank you for doing that.
It doesn't justify physical assault, but really, I don't. There's a point where when you're so public that you're talking about things that nobody asked about as a matter of your celebrity, that Will Smith and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith have done, that it's really
This is
difficult to feel bad and not feel immensely entertained when he does something that's like, oh, he
Exactly.
just did a crime on live television.
I know.
don't
Like I
yet see
just
what
as
happens.
a rule, yeah, as a rule, I don't have sympathy for rich people.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good
like,
rule.
you know, once somebody's a millionaire, I'm just like, yeah, anything can happen to you, and I'm not gonna care. So, very funny to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather see how you
it was-
taste.
Yeah, it was definitely like pure public TV gold
I know. Like
as far as
I'm
action
telling
is.
you, they should have leaned into it. Like I would be so much more willing to watch the Oscars if the way they won the award was by like wrestling. Like pro wrestling, and they talk shit about each other like this and then beat the hell out of each other. I would pay so much money.
That would
Yeah.
fucking absolutely rule. That would be the best case scenario for this form of entertainment.
We
It's
get
just
a real
eventually
life.
sanctioned physical assault, scripted
We get a
sanctioned physical
yeah.
assault.
We
Has
get a
Ricky
real life
Gervais done the
celebrity death
Oscars?
match.
Yeah, there you
Real
go.
life celebrity death match. I love that.
Yeah.
Has Ricky Gervais done the Oscars?
He got into some hot water on it, of course.
How many people
But
probably wanted to punch him that were famous at that?
Right.
yeah, and that's one of the thing I like mentioned to people is that I'm also glad it was Chris Rock that got hit, because like he took it in stride. If that had been Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais, who's like a giant man baby, that night would have ended so much differently.
Yeah.
Probably with Will Smith in jail. So like,
Yeah.
I'm really glad it was Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Pride's a
Chris Rock.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Chris Rock did take that like a fucking champ and finish the show. Whereas, like,
Yeah,
if
he just
it
moved
were
on.
anyone else, including Ricky Gervais, I don't think he would have finished the show.
Ricky Gervais is a massive fucking man baby. Whenever I think of like Oscars controversies, I usually think of him because he did it the year that Caitlyn Jenner was in the zeitgeist, and
Right.
he made some like transphobic comment about her or something so many years ago I can't remember. But like after that happened, he had a hissy, whiny baby fit on Twitter for 15 days straight. 15 days of like you are tweeting, subtweeting people in the most petty, whiny, bitchy manner, goes silent for 2 years, comes back with some special on Netflix about how, cancel culture or whatever, woke people. I'm like, you told a joke and people didn't like it. Get over it, dude.
Oh, did he do the wokeness is ruining my comedy career?
Yeah,
Bit?
he did. He went that direction because he just
Hell
can't accept criticism, apparently.
yeah. I don't, guys. If we can make this joke, then we have to make this joke or flawed logic.
Yeah.
That's
No,
disgusting.
But yeah, with him, it's like, and it sucks because like he's done some stuff that I like. Like he had a
Mhm.
Netflix show about grief that I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, he's
But
done good
like,
stuff.
yeah, it's one of those situations where you have to like separate the art and the artist. Because I liked that show, but Ricky Gervais is like a terrible person, just like a
Not a
3-year-old,
good
never grew
sport.
up. No,
No.
no,
Just a
not at all.
bad fucking sport. That's always the thing about the people who are always eventually having that conversation apropos of nothing. It's always hilariously defensive and not brought up by anybody else. Didn't Seinfeld just do that one too? Where he's like, I don't know. It was like the 5th time he's done this. Where
Oh,
nobody fucking
yeah.
cares, but he pops into press because he's like, nobody can do comedy anymore because of woke whatever. It's like, I
I'm
think
not
you're just
relevant
really fucking
anymore.
bad at comedy and your
Oh no, I'm a
vocabulary is
millionaire and I make shows about driving in cars with President Obama and other celebrities and
Ugh.
life is so hard. Woe is
it's
me.
it's always so fucking cringy every time it happens, and it's just
It
ugh.
is.
Yeah, he's one to pop up at like once every year and go, woke comedy's bullshit.
It's like nobody
It's like,
fucking asked. What the fuck?
you're living off Seinfeld royalties still, so shut the fuck up.
I don't even think he
Yeah,
had a
literally.
controversy.
I don't.
No, he didn't. He's just not
He just complains a lot.
well, the problem is also like the thing that initially about his comedy that got him famous is the fact that it was relatable. But now that he's a millionaire, he doesn't have relatable experiences anymore.
He's not
So he
relatable
can't
at
do
all.
comedy anymore because that's like the only comedy he was good at.
He doesn't have a human experience anymore. He makes over whatever a
Yeah.
year.
Is Jerry Seinfeld an alien? No, he has to be human. He's got to be.
No, he's way too unfunny to be an alien. I don't. If you want pure comedy gold, try to sit through. Fuck, I don't even know. What was his co-star Seinfeld?
Jason Alexander.
No,
Yeah.
the one who did a racism on stage somewhere.
Oh, Keith.
Oh, yeah, the one who played Kramer.
Did you ever see when he has him like remote into a late night show and make an apology? Well, like Jerry Seinfeld is on as a guest and has him remote in after he said what he said. I can't even remember what it was. I remember he says the N-word a bunch of times. But,
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
this event. So he was at a comedy club. I think he was at
Yeah, he was being heckled by
the
somebody, wasn't he?
improv.
Yep.
Yeah, he was being heckled by somebody, and I think it was at an improv, and he just started
Lost
calling
his
the guy
mind.
the N word,
Yeah.
and
It didn't even have
eventually,
context. Like, he just
yeah,
decided to go like the worst, most disgusting route that he could because he's not funny.
and so Jerry Seinfeld was on some talk show for himself and gives up some of his time for Richard, for the guy to make an
Michael Richards? Is it
apology.
Michael Richards?
Michael Richards, I think is what it was. That sounds right.
I think maybe.
That definitely sounded right.
So
But
then is Michael Richards an alien?
yes.
No, way too
Yeah.
unfunny and way too racist. You would not
Oh,
be
yeah,
hung up
no,
on these
this is
types of
true.
things
You
if you were
think
from the whole
aliens
laugh of the planet.
can't? Like, I think aliens can be unfunny. I think there's some of them are got to be losers, right?
Yeah, alien incels exist, but
Seth Rogen.
I think the last thing an alien would attach to that's probably likely like a shade we haven't invented, or like a purple or a green. The
Seth
last thing
Rogen
is
and
going to
Dave
notice
Franco.
is the color of anybody's skin and point that out with a racial epithet. That's a lot to learn as far as human culture goes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. You'd have to do a lot of diagnostic scans on, you know, long-term diagnostic scans. Uh,
That alien would still be making reports, so it wouldn't have fucked
I
off
think
into
I think
entertainment.
Seth Rogen and Dave Franco, they're like alien partners. Like they both have an agenda, right?
They're two heads of the same alien. So somehow
Oh,
these aliens are connected. They're like Siamese twins
right.
aliens.
There's like a psychic,
Yeah. But
okay,
they're
yeah,
like hive mind between these two
And
fuckers.
right,
wherever they come
okay.
from, everything is everything. The common element to everything is what carbon is on planet Earth is THC.
So out of the entire Happy Madison regulars,
Oh fuck.
which of them is most likely to be an alien? You got your
Nick
Adam Sandler, your
Swartzen.
Kevin James, your I was gonna say David Spade, but maybe.
Yeah. I could see.
So many possibilities.
I mean, yeah.
Fucking hold on. I need to reference
Time out.
like a cast list for this. This is too juicy to pass up. I'm using the internet for this one.
You got a lot of people to work with there.
Yeah,
really?
you definitely
And-
do.
And we're also talking about like the B actors, or like the main guy from Grandma's Boy, the dude who was in all of the Adam Sandler movies, who's just like,
I mean, you
how
know,
you
Andy.
do that? How you do that?
Oh fucking.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Okay. I know, like in the later ones, like the Lonely Island shows up in those too. Andy Samberg is in some of them.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in That's My Boy, which I watched a long time ago, I think. Yeah, that
I wouldn't include him. I would say
he's human. I would say he's human.
Oh,
yeah.
we passed up Steve Buscemi.
Oh shit.
fuck.
That's technically in
Crazy
in the
eyes.
atmosphere or in orbit.
How did I forget that? I watched The Big Lebowski 2 days ago. Like, how did I forget about Steve Buscemi?
You're out of your element, Donnie.
That dude is pure alien.
How do you do,
And
fellow
failing
humans?
Yeah. How do you do, fellow humans?
That was a good impression, actually. Good.
Anyone want to go ride on their skateboards?
Who else was in Grown Ups? I just
Oh,
looked at the
God.
cast list for Hubie Halloween because I was like, what's some of the more embarrassing Adam Sandler movies I can think
Kevin
of?
James, David Spade, was Eddie?
I want to say Kevin James just because I don't like him and I don't want him to be
He
a member
was.
of
I
my
think he was.
species, but
I'm pretty positive that he was.
Chris Rock was in that.
Chris Rock is in a couple of Happy Madison films, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Not
that
you,
was.
Chris. Not you.
I don't.
Say it ain't so, Chris.
No, Chris, no.
No, Chris, no, say it ain't so.
Why didn't they just use Tim Meadows and give him the A-list casting that he deserves? John Lovitz is not an alien. He's just weird.
Yeah. I think he's just sexually repressed.
John Lovitz?
Yeah.
Who's the
No.
guy? He's in Waterboy. You can do it. That guy,
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Yeah. What do we think? Alien or human?
I think he's an alien who adopted bad human habits.
Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe the crash fucked with his head a little bit.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
he's that one dude who he's like a replicant who thinks he's human, but he's
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
an alien. So he like keeps saying like sexist, transphobic, and racist things, but it's just like
But he just doesn't understand.
right. And his fellow aliens are like, dude, wake the fuck up. Oh, he's like the guy from Boondock Saints. He's the priest. He's the preacher from Boondock Saints.
Who's the preacher?
I haven't
Remind
seen that
me.
movie.
Or not Boondock Saints. I'm sorry. The Boondocks. Jesus Christ. Boondocks. The old Adult Swim show. The
Right.
Boondocks.
This one. Yeah.
With all the
With
was it Charlie Murphy that was doing the preacher, who was like a black preacher who was racist against black people?
Oh, you're talking about Uncle
Uncle
Oh my god.
I gotta look it up.
My brain.
It's killing me.
Because John, what's his face from Friday, the dad in Friday, was the voice of the dad.
Not John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon might be it.
No, that's the guy from fucking Twilight Zone and oh my god, John.
John.
My head's gonna explode.
John.
Oh no, it is John Witherspoon. Okay, I'm sorry.
That
I'm thinking of
is
John
correct.
Lithgow.
Oh, that's Alien. That's definitely an alien. He's got
John
the look.
Lithgow is an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
John
I love him. He's
Witherspoon
great.
is
He's
an
a good alien. Yeah.
Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus. There you go. That's it. Don't nobody
That
go
actually
on the
makes-
UFO for 35
We've
to 45
mentioned-
minutes.
We've mentioned John Lithgow and we've mentioned Mike Myers. Both of them are aliens. Both of them are in Shrek.
Oh,
So how many cast members of Shrek are aliens and how many of them are human?
Ooh.
We've got 2 aliens already.
Cameron Diaz, definitely an alien.
Okay, so we got 3. How about Eddie Murphy? That's the other main cast member.
The
I
Norbit?
feel like-
Sorry, that was a bad reference.
No, that was a great fucking reference. That was a hell of a pull.
I
Let me
honestly
throw
missed
another
it.
one
I
out
didn't
at you.
hear it.
Let me throw another one out at
It's not
you.
worth addressing at
Bowfinger.
all.
Okay. Didn't
We're
get that
talking
one either.
We're talking really bad Eddie Murphy movies from like
Oh,
late
yeah,
90s,
okay.
early 2000s that
Right.
failed miserably.
The phase of like
The
closing
one I
companies.
remember is Dr. Dolittle, and that's the one I remember with Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy in it.
It had 2 sequels.
It did?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah, why did that guy have a career? I
Here's,
mean, it's funny, I guess.
He's funny.
But like,
One of the first comedians turned actors, really, that got like
yeah, no,
big.
there's a legacy there, I guess. You know they're doing a Shrek 5 now? They're doing a 5th one.
I didn't know there was that many that existed. I don't think.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little bit of like deep lore about me. So I have a brother who's 7 years younger than me, and that means like I never really got to watch anything except kids movies because like right when I was getting out of that threshold, he was still, so it was just all kids movies all the time. So like I haven't seen most movies, and the joke I make to people is that if it's not Shrek, I haven't seen it. But the reason I make that joke is because due to these particular life circumstances, I have seen every Shrek film thus far in theaters.
Oh,
Holy
hell
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Box office fucking gold.
Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek 3, Shrek 4, all of them. The only one I haven't seen is the new Puss in Boots one that came out very, very recently.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
but
that's all spin-off
That's not,
shit, though.
yeah, that's a spin-off. That's not Shrek proper. So,
But it's relevant to
yeah.
your interest because it's a talking cat.
my review is the first one is great, The second one is great in a different way because it's more of a kids movie. The third one sucks ass, and the fourth one is surprisingly good.
Yes, it is. I remember watching the fourth one going, I enjoyed this weirdly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
Like
why.
I got out of the theater as someone who was still a child at the time. I was like a teenager at that point, like thinking I'm not gonna like this baby shit. But then I get out of it, and I was like, oh, that was actually really good.
Like, son of a bitch. No, so here's the thing about Eddie Murphy. I feel like Eddie Murphy is going to be one of those terrible reveals of like, oh my God, he is an alien after all this time. Like,
Oh,
we
okay,
lost Eddie Murphy to the
right.
aliens. Like, we had believed so strong that Eddie Murphy was going to
He
be
was
a valuable asset to the
undercover.
humans. But yeah,
Yeah, he
he
was
turns out
undercover with the humans, but
to
he's
be one
really
of
an alien.
he turns out to be one of the most successful undercover aliens ever.
Did you know the little
Incredible.
fun fact that he was supposed to be in Ghostbusters?
Ooh, really?
He was originally like in the original. I don't know how far it actually went. I don't think they came anywhere close to production, but he was supposed to be in Ghostbusters. Eddie Murphy, where what can I think of his name?
As Ernie Hudson's
Ernie
character.
Hudson. Thank you. Yeah, he was supposed to be that character and be like the lead among leads.
Wow.
Like written as, and then the character got moved way back. And it's because
Bill Murray,
yeah.
alien or human?
Alien.
What do you think? Yeah, unfortunately, I want him to be human.
Yeah.
I want him to be, but he's got to be.
I'm going with human. He's too depressed to be an alien. You could just go somewhere else.
I'm gonna choose to believe he's human because I want him to be one of us.
I'll accept that turn. I will take that turn as well. Well, that's going to do it for us here at the party bonus. Hope you kept your boner the whole time. I want to thank
Otherwise, Sobek will be very displeased.
You
Otherwise,
should have
Sobek
tuned through the
coming through.
entire
Oh.
episode, or a certain deity will be so disappointed in you, you won't get your Sobe tea.
If that erection lasts past 4 hours, you better go to the hospital.
You
Comment below
Priapist.
when you charge your Joe Crystal.
I want to.
Oh, that's the answer too. Priapist. You stay hard, but you never come. That's the enemy
hold
cult.
Boom, at the buzzer. We got it. There it is. Wow. Full circle. Closed it.
All right.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in and to point out we're all in different time zones. So putting this together obviously is a very hard effort on all of our parts. So
Hard.
big thanks to us, hard, and appreciate you all for taking the time. Thank you again to Unveiling Nightmares for giving us a platform to do this. And to all
Yeah.
the
Oh,
crew
did we
there.
mention we're writers? I don't think we did.
I don't think so. I guess a little background on us is we're all writers
Yeah.
and musicians as well as Sean is. So you can all check us out at all our individual websites
Socials and links and all that
socials.
in the doobly doo.
That's right. So giving us one last little sign off. My name is Zach.
I'm devsolovey.
I'm Sean.
And we go catch you guys next time. Thank you very much.